everybody. Happy Thursday. I know it's dark and it's looking like my camera is a little blurry. It was dark because I was headed from that's better. I was headed from the back hallway. I'm leaving, locking up, make sure all the lights is out. But anyway, y'all, so today is Thursday. We did not have field Tuesday because we got a text like Tuesday morning from the field instructor saying she won't be in the building due to a family emergency. So she just told us to use the time to review their website. She had also given us that book about white privilege in the workplace and all of that. So we're gonna read it. We read some of it while we were at home. But anyway, y'all, so real quick, y'all know it's only me in the morning. So today is kind of chilly in Ohio. So got my sweater, my Fitbit, just a white tee, because I could always do something like that if I get hot, but keeping it professional over top. The blue pants. I was going to wear some tan shoes, but they knew and they wasn't feeling right. Even though they're plenty big enough, there's like a block thing by the toe that wasn't for the people. So anyway, y'all, I just had 3 turkey sausages for breakfast and 2 boiled eggs. I just packed my bag. So in my bag this week, I just have, like my charger, my regular purse, some water, my laptop, and like folders or whatever, and a notebook. You never know what I got to write down. I'm ready. I'm excited. I hate that we didn't get a chance to go Tuesday just because when I did my homework and stuff for the week, the actual field liaison, like the person from the university, had all this stuff in there, like asking what core values did we work on this week and yada yada yada. So I'm thinking I don't know. We're supposed to do like 2, I guess, a week based on how her journal entry was in that homework assignment. So I don't know how we're gonna get 2 in today, but I'm gonna make it do what it do just so I won't get a lower grade in my field class because it wasn't my fault that we wasn't allowed to go. So I don't know. This is all new to me. I don't know the rules and the engagements. I just know what the syllabus say, and the syllabus is pretty strict. So I don't know, y'all. We will see, but I'm getting ready to head out of here, and of course, I will do a recap to let y'all know how everything went. Hey y'all, it's your girl. No, it is not the end of the day, baby. It is lunchtime. It's 12:14 actually. I took lunch at 12. I got home about 12:05. I was just kind of sitting here, just collecting my thoughts. Today kind of started off a little bit rocky just because I'm learning that on Thursdays, our field instructor has these weekly meetings with where all the bosses and supervisors of different teams are on a call. And yeah, the meetings go for hours. But I got in cool with the lady at the front desk. And so anyway, I sat with her. The other girl that's in field with me, she decided to just kind of chill in there where our office space is, and I don't blame her. I mean, it would be a good time to catch up on homework, or if she really was trying to read the book that we were assigned, then she could do that. But I don't know, I just kind of felt like sitting in a room for 3 hours and some change, winging it just wasn't my thing. So I would kind of prefer to see what's happening around there. And I mean, I understand that not every day is going to be one of those days where you learn something. I understand that starting out the gate, it's gonna be a process. Every day is not okay, here you go. You're off to the races, go do your job. Even though I am a fast learner, I do understand that that is not how that's going to go. So I anticipate having a couple slow days, but y'all, your girl be getting antsy. I am that kind of person. I mean, if I'm gonna be here, put me to work. And then also, kind of like I was explaining, the field liaison, the person at the school, is more so holding me accountable. So what happened this week? What did you do this week? And I get that maybe in the actual field placement, there was nothing for me to do because we are still waiting on like our technology. And what I mean by that is like they give you a company issue cell phone, they give you a company issue computer that you can do work, you can view forms, and you can kind of like email back and forth with like these families that you're trying to get set up for these services. And it, without that, the instructor was saying like it's not too much that we could do. So hopefully that stuff comes in. I think she says the computer is what's lacking, but we are maybe to get our phones when we show up on Tuesday. So we'll see. But in the meantime, like I took the opportunity to go over the list of competencies and the values kind of that I was explaining this morning. And just to kind of give you more insight to that, because I feel like this morning it was a little bit rushed. So our field liaison has a list of competencies. There are a lot of them. I think it's 31 competencies to be exact, or it might be about, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of competencies. It could only be about 20 or something like that, but you're supposed to pick out of each competency area, you're supposed to pick 2 tasks that you can do from each competency. And so it should add up by the end of this semester, it should add up to be 15 tasks that I've done and then 16 tasks for next semester. And so kind of an example of this would be um bias might be, understanding and knowing, your bias and supervision, using supervision to get through that. Could be like a competency and an ethic thing. And so in that, the task might be identify a population that you know that you have a bias working with, or you think you may have a bias working with, and then discuss that with the supervisor, like ways that you can work through that, because you still have to do your job. So I do understand why we have to do some of these things. Some of it is kind of like extra, like one of the competencies, it was like research and come up with analytic data for X, Y, and Z. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a numbers person at all. I hate research and statistics and all of that type of stuff. I'm good with the word part of it, but the actual like collecting the data and doing all that, like I'm only going to do what's necessary. So I feel like to do that in my field placement, that ain't where it's at, because that's not where I'm going in my professional development. Like when real life come and I graduate, I'm definitely not taking a job where I am analyzing anybody's data and doing all of that. Like if it's not the bare minimum or the basic, I'm not that girl. So anywho, it's just all these different competencies. So I was able to like get some time with my instructor. We talked about the list, and we chose our things that we needed to cover this fall, as well as chose the things that we need to cover in the spring. So I feel good that I got that assignment accomplished. We also talked about graduate school licensing, possibly working for that company, and just like the benefits that come with a federal job at a nonprofit. Like, so they're federally funded, um, but it's like a Head Start, so it's like a nonprofit type of thing for the city. And so we were talking about like the financial aid, debt cancellation after so many payments. We were talking about the federally observed holidays. We were talking about, parents of young children that work for this company being able to have like summer off and winter breaks and, that kind of thing. And then they do get like a teacher's pension. So, sometimes you can't, when you're looking for a job, you can't really just look at the dollar amount. You have to look at everything that comes with it. So example would be you have a job and you're making $20 an hour, and the benefits are not that, or just say, you know what, forget it. You have a job that's making $25 an hour, but your benefits are pretty much non-existent, so you're spending a lot of money on that. You are salary, so them people could work you 60, 70 hours, just say if you have overtime, is like mandatory. You're not getting anything extra for it. You only have 2 weeks of vacation time. Like you have to look at stuff like that. Whereas then you might have a job where you only make 19, $20 an hour, but you have summers off, you have a pension, you have excellent benefits, that kind of stuff. So you kind of have to like pick and choose. I mean, I hope to fall somewhere in the middle, because not that money should be the motive, but I'm not your traditional student. This ain't my first rodeo. This is not my first job. I already own a home. I have a vehicle. I have a kid that'll be going to college pretty soon. So for me, like, I can't go somewhere making less than what I make now. I just can't do it, because where I'm at right now is a sweet situation. I have the time and the tenure because I've been at this company for 15 years and all of that. The benefits are kind of lacking now. They were always great, but now not so much. But again, I have the time, I have the tenure, I know what I'm doing, I'm acclimated to what I have to do every day. Um, and the pay is good. So for me, I have to really like see what these people are offering and what's on the table before I just jump to anything. But enough about that. So we talked about that in the meeting. And then we also talked about a task. So I'm about to go back into the office now. Like I said, it's only 5 minutes, 4 minutes for me. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then go back. And then we have a resource list. And she said it hasn't been updated since like 2018. um, and so we're just gonna go down all these resources and call. We're gonna split it between me and the other intern just to see if the rules still apply. So, for instance, how to obtain a birth certificate at a nonprofit organization that's in the community. Like, they give out two per family. They do this like for you once a year, like calling and seeing if all these steps that are listed on this paper are still the same. Like, are they still providing this service? And that way, if we vet out the list, we can update the list. And so when this list is being provided to families who are in need of some of these services, we'll already know, oh no, don't call this one, because this is not even, it's not even worth giving to you, because they're no longer in business, or they are no longer offering this service for free. There is a charge. We can kind of update it just to help our families know what they're getting into before they even call, and know if it's worth like passing the information, or what has changed. Has the process changed now due to COVID? So I'm excited about that, because I mean, I'm not from here. I stay in my bubble, even though I've lived here forever. I don't know nothing about the resources here. So this is a very valuable skill, I believe, as a future social worker, because no matter what role I take or with what company, I do need to be familiar with the resources that are out in the community. So I'm excited about this task, just to see, because I'll keep a copy of the list for myself. And then that way I'm acclimated to that. If I needed to share that with somebody in a role at another company, another client that I may work with may need some of the same resources. So I'm excited. I'll definitely pick you guys up when I come back. Don't forget, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have work to clock into, and then I have school. So by the time I pick you up, y'all, I might not be looking this cute. Nah, just playing. I'll pick y'all up in a minute. All right, y'all. So we are done with our last day of field this week. And I would say it went well. I mean, of course, we talked about Tuesday and not being able to be in the building and do all of that. So we lost a day. So I really hope that this little week is interesting. And honestly, I might just combine this week with next week just to give you guys some more content. But anyway, the rest of the day went fine. When I went back from lunch, I got going on that resource list, which, like I said, I felt like was just a good assignment for me, because I don't know for real anything about this area and what I could offer people needing different services. Like, I probably only know like one resource, outside of like stuff like Medicaid and WIC and all of that. Like, I only knew one other resource to add to the list, just because I have done work with that particular organization throughout, my little time at school or whatever. Like, I've written papers, I did a grant proposal on this particular place. So I'm very well versed in this one place, but I mean, it's just one. So anyway, on the list, I had to split it up. It was probably about 6 pages, and it was divided between myself and the other intern. So I took the first 3 pages, and on my pages, it was resources for obtaining free birth certificates. So that was just good to know. Like, places around here do like 2 free birth certificates, like for a lifetime. Some places don't have a limit, but there is a cost associated with it. I had no idea that there were like birth certificate kiosks, which are like, you know, not vending machines, but like pretty much like machines that you can kind of go type your stuff in and it'll print you something out that's official, I guess, right then and there. Or no, I'm sorry, the kiosk, as I was reading it on the website, because we had to verify if the resource was still a good resource and the information was still valid. So the kiosk is where you place the order, and then you had to either go to the main location and you could pick it up same day as long as you go before they close, or if you wait until after they close, then at that point there is no option to pick up. You just have to receive it in the mail, and they, you know, you'll have it in probably like 2 days or whatever. So anyway, it was birth certificate options. It was pregnancy resources. So, you know, aside from like I said, your typical WIC, which is everywhere, there were like programs specifically geared toward pregnant women and mothers with babies. Some of the programs had an age limit, like you couldn't receive assistance after the child turned 1. Some of them took you through to the kid was like 5, and then some of like the resources that were listed on the paper when I called and asked the person to verify that those services were still in play. The names of the particular services that were originally listed on the document that I had changed, and so I was able to update that and get different and new contact information for different people at the agency. It was also housing was on my list. Help with GED and educational services. So that was also pretty cool, because there were like a lot of GED services available in this area. There were like trainings, and also there were like Medicaid, I think they were called Medicaid counselors or something like that. But anyway, there was like a contact of like 3 people who would help you fill out the Medicaid applications and kind of go through the process. And one of them, it was listed that he spoke Spanish. So that was pretty cool, because in the area that I'm in, there are a lot of Spanish speaking individuals. And at the school that I'm serving at the Head Start, there's a lot of it's like Africans that come there, and then there's another language, and I forget it now, but I want to say it's called pet. I don't know. It was. I'm gonna have to Google it and get back to y'all, but it was like a paleo or some type, like some word like that type of language. And so I had to like Google that, because I saw someone who appeared to be African speaking that, and then like a white gentleman walked in speaking the same language. So I don't really know where that language originated from, but I didn't know that was a thing. So anywho, all in all, it was great. I retyped the list because my organizational skills, you know, I be OCD about stuff, and whoever had typed the list before me had it like all over the place. And so anyway, I just kind of tidied it up a little bit, sent out my email, submitted my time card, because I don't want to forget. If you're like me and you busy and you got a lot of stuff going on, it's best to just go ahead, submit your time card when you leaving on your last day of the week, and then you don't have to worry about that. So anywho, I did that. I'm turning on my blog, so you see how fast that went. I was able to talk to y'all from pulling out to getting home pretty much. And so I am about to clock in and work for a little bit, and then about in an hour, well, about 45 minutes, I'm gonna hop on for my senior thesis class. So anywho, guys, I'm not sure if I'm gonna put this up because it wasn't very long, or if I'll combine it with next week's field. I don't know. But in the meantime, just in case, have a good weekend. And it's the holiday weekend, so have a good weekend. All right, y'all. See y'all later.